Since 2019, Ghost Recon Breakpoint has had a complete overhaul. The game is much more enjoyable because of all the updates in which has been released in the last 2 years. That's of course including the immersive mode, the ghost experiences that came out, and the largest update that has arrived so far, in which was Motherland, in which was a very enjoyable update that came to the game and got quite a lot of good press for it. Now of course Ubisoft didn't exactly end 2021 on a good note with the release of NFTs, but does that mean that we are going to be getting a year through to the game? I think it's likely. So let's talk about what I expect the Ghost Recon team to be doing this year and what I would like them to be doing this year if they haven't already started working on some updates. It's currently unclear whether there is going to be a year 3 for the game, as the Ghost Recon team has gone quiet at the moment. Last year we got a roadmap around February, and the year before that we got an update in late January. So there isn't long to wait before we do get some sort of update on whether there is a year 3 for Breakpoint. I truly believe that they will be updating the game past this point, because there is nothing to say that they are not going to, especially considering they are putting NFTs within Breakpoint as some sort of beta for other games. I feel like this is a discreet way of announcing that there is going to be a year 3 for the game, so I think we need to be aware that it is likely, and Nomad coming back to Auroa in Motherland could be a way of Ubisoft saying that we are having a hard reboot on this game. What I want most importantly is replayability for Breakpoint. This is something I've been asking for such a long time, and I think that Motherland was a great opportunity to add some form of replayability to the game. But they didn't use that update to an advantage. They should have made it so that the Bulldog take back the bases in which you've just taken over, so that there is a continuous repeatability of having to take back bases and taking back the bases in different ways, so that it makes the game more enjoyable. I feel though Motherland was released, you get through the whole entire island through the conquest mode, and you get towards the end and you've pretty much completed the whole entire world and completed all the bases within that world. What is there beyond that? Is there no way of having that replayability and that repeat of taking down bases? Can get a little bit tedious, but if they do it in a way in which allows for different scenarios to play out, then it will be more enjoyable to play Breakpoint in the long term instead of just the short term currently. Now of course within Wildlands, the PvP aspect of Wildlands was the replayability of that game. You could go into the PvE aspect of the game and complete the whole entire map, get everything from the PvE side of the game, and then go over to PvP, which is a complete separate game kind of, and go play that and play that on repeat. And of course there is a level system to that where you'll be able to level up your character through playing the PvP, and of course prestiges, all that kind of stuff within Wildlands really made that game a one in which you could go back to and enjoy time and time again. But that's the issue with Breakpoint, where it doesn't have that aspect of the game. And yes, it does have a PvP, but we haven't had a PvP update in probably about a year and a half, I'm gonna say, or something along those lines. So they aren't actually doing anything with the PvP. I believe Frontline was supposed to be the PvP for Breakpoint, because Breakpoint completely failed at launch and they had to dedicate a lot of resource towards the PvE aspect of the game. It is likely we won't see another Ghost Recon game other than Frontline until 2023 or even 2024. I believe the intention was to release Frontline last year, as from my experience it came across like they were intending to push it out last year, and the game was pretty much in a state in which was ready for a release. But due to the community feedback they went back on that, and I believe we will likely see it sometime in the summer. I suspect that I will get the chance to continue playing the alphas for Frontline within this year. They've gone quite quiet on my side, so I don't know anything that's happening with that game, therefore I can't actually announce anything for what's happening with that game just yet. But considering they have gone quiet on it, I do expect that they are going to be updating a lot of the game to suit the community's feedback from the announcement trailer. If you do end up making the game a third-person shooter, in which I did push for right at the start of my gaming experience with that game, then they will have to increase the game development time, as most things they have done so far will need to be changed, such as the animations, gun statistics, and battling one of the biggest things in which they were concerned about and person route, in which was wall peeking. But moving on from Frontline, I'm really hoping this year is a good one with plenty of content. I'm not sure whether we'll be getting proper content like we did within year 1, where we had multiple episodes, or whether they'll be going down a route like year 2, where we only had 2 updates, but those 2 updates were quite large, with maybe a live event to split them both. I of course prefer the more content route. Both things considered, if they are working on another Ghost Recon to come out in 2023, 2024, then I am happy to have less content and for them to be reducing the amount of content released for Breakpoint in order to put more resource on that next game. So moving on from next game kind of talk, let's move on to another feature in which I would love for the game, and which was part of my 2021 version of this video, in which is a huge overhaul for the gunsmith. This is a needed feature, and I believe that making this change will definitely improve the immersiveness and the tactical aspect of this game. Being able to change things like putting attachments on different positions on the rail, or maybe changing that attachment to the opposite side of your weapon on a different rail, or even on the top, or just anywhere on the weapon. Just being able to have a little bit more choice with where you are going to be putting stuff on your weapon does add to that tactical aspect of the game, because changing your weapon is going to have a massive impact on how your weapon performs, ultimately making it more enjoyable to have certain weapons and certain attachment choices, and even expanding on being able to have more attachments added to the game would definitely help as well. I would even go as far as maybe having that bipod finally work, which hasn't even worked since the launch, and still to this day it still just stays there as just a cosmetic thing on your weapon. It's a pretty pointless attachment, to be honest, if you can't deploy that bipod. Moving swiftly on to another thing which is cosmetics, in which I would love more added to the game. Of course, we got a lot within Motherland, we got a lot within the AI update which arrived earlier on in 2021 as well. Adding more cosmetics to the game does ultimately improve the game quite a bit. Of course, with the NFTs, going back to that thing again, there were cosmetics added through that, but I think avoiding all that NFT kind of crap, let's hope that there is going to be cosmetics added to the game throughout the updates within 2022. Last of all, I do want to add Moa Island to this list. It's been a thing that's been asked for such a long time. The original theory was that it was a feature for the Transcendence raid, in which Transcendence obviously didn't come out, and then the raid didn't come out because they basically just cancelled them both and replaced it with Red Patriot. I believe there will be assets already for Moa Island, and I believe there is a lot in which they could do with that island if they do eventually expand the game over to there. I think if they don't release Moa Island to the community, I think it'll just be a little bit strange, considering they did say before the game even launched that they were going to be continuously adding more islands to the game throughout its life. Of course, the launch kind of messed things up and messed up the amount of resource in which they could dedicate to this game. So it was a bit of a iffy kind of situation with the launch, but you know, I think Moa Island should finally release within year 3 of the game. I think we've got to have some form of announcement on what their original plans were with Moa Island, just so we had a bit of an idea of what was the plans originally, and kind of gave us a little bit more hope on what we'll be seeing within this year for Breakpoint. But anyways, the list could literally go on forever, and there's a lot in which I would like to cover within this year. I'll be doing some videos of me just voicing my opinion on certain things, what I would like to see within the game with the share and all that kind of jazz. You know me with this channel. If you haven't subscribed already, do hit the subscribe button. There is plenty of content on my channel currently. Have a look at them videos if you like them. Hit the subscribe button, it is really appreciated. I just want to say thanks for everyone last year for supporting the channel, and hopefully this year is going to be a much better one, and hopefully there'll be plenty to cover within this year Breakpoint wise. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button as well, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I do upload, and I'll see you all in the next one.